Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Johnny Vlogs. I'm your host, John Lorden. For today's episode, October 23rd, 2017, and sticking with the theme we've been doing this month for Halloween, we are looking at another ghost picture. Now, I know in last episode I mentioned I might look into a ghost video. Several of you wanted me to look into the latest picture from the Stanley Hotel, so we're going to do that this week. I might do the Irish school ghost footage next week. Let me know if you're interested in that one. There's a lot of other people that have been doing analysis on it. There's basically a lot of debunkers out there. I don't know that I agree with some of their methods or some of their beliefs in terms of what they're debunking. I think I have my own spin to give on it, but let me know if you're interested in seeing that or not. This week it was clear you guys wanted me to talk about the Stanley, and I feel good about that because this is a place I went to. They had a ghost photo that popped up last year, and I went there specifically to do one of their ghost tours and to check out the site of where that photo happened for myself. So I have some experience with this place. I might have some insight that could help us in terms of looking at this latest ghost photo. But let's start with an article at HuffingtonPost.com here. And this is the latest photo. It was a family. They are the Mosling family of Aurora, Colorado. They went to the Stanley Hotel and they did a spirit tour. The photo was taken by John J. Mosling and seems to show a young girl. Now, they're saying walking down the stairs in this, but that is definitely not what I see. When I look at this photo, I see a young girl. It looks like her back is to the camera, and I believe she's actually walking up the stairs. Let's see if I can, get this a little bigger for you guys here. And I think it's her back because I think I'm seeing her long hair here. I think I'm seeing her shoes and her feet facing in that direction. And I got to tell you, one of the first things I look at when I'm looking at photos like this is whatever is happening to the object that they think is a ghost, are there other sections of the photo where something similar is happening? So here I see a pretty strong form of a girl. No doubt the camera didn't capture her completely for some reason. Is there a slow exposure going on here? What type of camera is this is my first question, because I have to tell you, at least from the versions of this picture that I've seen online, this is not it looks to me like it's a digital camera, or it might have been a film camera and then they had the image digitized, scanned in some way so that they could share it with other people. But I'm seeing a lot of very hard digital artifacts. If they did have it scanned, I think they had it scanned on a pretty low resolution because I'm seeing just crazy digital artifacts all over the place. But back to my earlier point, is there anything else in this picture where we seem to have a similar type of thing going on with the picture blurring? And if we start over here on the right, I'm seeing this woman's head. Looks like she had some movement going on. There's a slight blur around her head. I don't know if this is maybe someone's jacket that she's carrying, but you can see that we've got a slight blur through that where you can actually make out some of the carpet imprint through the jacket. So apparently that's a ghost jacket. Up above here, once again, we're seeing numerous blurs. I don't know if this is another person here or if this person was seated forward when this exposure was started and then they moved back to the left. It seems kind of weird because they look like they're right about the same height. And then over here is the craziest. I think, quite honestly, if I was going to say there's a ghost in the picture, I'd say that it's over here. This is another blur. I highly suspect this is a child that is in motion. It looks like potentially their mother or their family member is sitting down on the stairs here. And this is where I'm hoping some of my experience might give you guys some insight. There's a section of the tour where they stop you on the stairs here because they tell you about one of their famous ghost pictures that happened right here on the stairs. And it looks to me like there's people that are sitting on the stairs. That would happen if all the seats were taken up. You can see all the bench seating here is pretty much taken up. Let me just run a clip of the man that took the photo. This is a clip from Inside Edition, just him commenting about what he thinks is going on in this photo.
Even if you look at the picture, you notice nobody's looking there. You know, they're all looking at the tour guide. So, I mean, you just don't excuse something like that, you know.
So just in case you didn't hear it, he says, no one's looking there at the little girl. They're all looking at the tour guide. But clearly no one is looking at this little girl that is right here. Now, could there be a logical reason for that? Absolutely. This tour takes place, or that part of the tour, this is a picture that I took on my tour there. And if you want to check that out, I'm going to have a link to my Brainscratch episode about me going to the Stanley Hotel in the description box below. So if you missed that for some reason, you can check it out. This is from the front door of the hotel. You walk in, and literally to your left is where you would check in. There's this big hallway area. There's a restaurant over to the right. There's an elevator over here to the right. Of all the times that I was in this room, I never saw this place. This is probably the one time I was able to take a picture where there wasn't someone either going up the stairs, coming down the stairs. That is one of the main access points to all the rooms upstairs. They are used quite frequently. So when you look at this and you say, well, first of all, the guy that takes the picture says he doesn't remember that type of kid there, that he doesn't remember a little girl as being with part of the group. I believe that. She doesn't have to be part of the group. She could have been someone that was just staying at the hotel. Now, if you look into this story a little more, the way they're telling it, they're saying they called the hotel and asked the hotel, were any children checked into the hotel when they were there? And they were told no, there was no children checked into the hotel. I have to tell you, from my time there was children everywhere. And I want to ask you guys a bit of a logical question here. How many times have you booked a hotel room and told them that you have children staying with you? Do they ask? No. Typically, they want to know how many people are staying in the room. They don't necessarily ask. You might tell them if you needed other arrangements, like you wanted them to bring in an extra bed or something like that. But it's not a normal part of any hotel booking or check-in procedure to say, oh, we have to note your children because you're staying in our hotel. And outside of that, the Stanley Hotel, if we pull up Wikipedia here, has 142 rooms. And I'm just telling you, from my personal experience of being there, there was kids all over the place. This is known as kind of a fun thing, this haunted hotel thing. So don't you think families are going to come? Don't you think they're going to bring children? That part of the story, I find, is kind of the weakest point of the whole story, outside of looking at this photo and recognizing that you've got blurs here, 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 here. You've got significant blurring all over this photo. So why are we looking at this image that, quite honestly, could just be a little girl in motion? We do see that the carpet gets blurred further as she could potentially be walking forward to round the corner and to head up the stairs. We have the blurs over here that are showing something is going on with this footage. Actually, this article even comments on this blur over here, talking about how you can't see the legs of this person here. Well, I kind of see little tiny shoes if I look over here. Now, are those the woman that's sitting down? Are those the kid's shoes? You can't tell because too much of it's obstructed by the railing. So, do I think that this is a ghost photo? No. And let me tell you kind of the final clincher why I don't. When you're starting the ghost tour there, they are very upfront. Actually, even before you start the ghost tour, they literally have a monitor outside of the room where you meet up for the ghost tour that is just running photos. Every photo of a potential ghost that has ever been captured by anyone that has taken the ghost tour is running on a monitor, and that's before you even check in. Once you start the tour, they give you a bit of a lengthy speech about, in particular, take as many photos as you can. Be sure to look through them when you get home. If you see anything weird that could be a ghost, be sure to send them to us. I believe they know that this is an extremely good marketing tool. This is the second year in a row they've had a photo like this. Because I have been there, I'm now part of their mailing list in some way. And I got to tell you, I was starting to get advertising from them about a week before this came out about Halloween events that they had coming up. I don't think it's any coincidence that this photo was produced at the time or given to the public at the time that it was. I don't think that the person that took the photo is, doing something fake. he perhaps does not remember that there was a little girl that was walking up the stairs when he snapped that photo. Who knows what could have happened around that in terms of what he was paying attention to? Because like he said, no one was looking at the girl, which probably means he wasn't looking at the girl either. Maybe he was still trying to pay attention to the person that was conducting the actual tour. So I don't know, guys. It's a tough one. But there was just so much foot traffic that I saw when I was there. There were so many children that I saw when I was there. There was children in our tour group. There was children running all over the lobby. Keep in mind, that is a main thoroughfare for that lobby for kids to go down. If there's something they need at the front desk, there's a restaurant down there. There's all kinds of services down there. If you just want to go step outside for fresh air, you have to go down there. This staircase got used a lot, at least from what I saw in terms of being there. So am I really surprised that a little girl popped into a picture that wasn't part of the tour group? No, not for where this staircase is. That's just kind of where I'm at with it. I don't distrust the family that took this tour and took this picture. I distrust their camera. From what I can see from this photo, this is not a very good camera. And it is definitely having some type of problem with a very slow exposure going on because we're seeing it in other parts of the photograph. So that is my official conclusion for the new Stanley Hotel ghost photo. But I bet you guys about this time next year, we're probably going to hear about another one. And at that point, I will look into it as well. I have to say, I loved doing the ghost tour. I loved going there. I will certainly go back there at some point. It's just a beautiful location. But even outside of that, it's just fun with these kind of stories that are coming out from there. And of course, there's some history there. If you're not aware, check out the Brainscratch in the description box below. I'll let you know all about it. Thanks for hanging out with me on today's edition of Johnny Vlogs. Hope you're having a great Halloween month. We've only got a little bit over a week left. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you back here on the Lord and Arch channel.